Hello, hope all is well. So another sort of for science video, and basically I was wondering, is there any difference on the TONEX modeler, i.e. the capture process between the optimized and the extended training? So with the new TONEX modeler, it typically defaults to optimized, and it's a setting I'm not sure if a lot of people have kind of looked at, but basically when you go up to the preferences by going up here, you have these, three options. So you have optimized training, which is the current new default. It's also recommended. And we also have extended training. And it also says, it takes considerably more time, system resources, but may provide slightly better tone accuracy in edge cases. Not recommended unless you're using an NVIDIA GPU. So basically somewhat like the older generation of TONEX capturing, using an NVIDIA GPU, you'd get much kind of faster results. And I guess it'd be using the CUDA cores, tensor cores, I'm not sure. And basically be really speeding up the, not the capture process per se of the amp, but the training procedure of an amp that you're trying to capture or something else. So what I thought I'd do here is just to kind of hear the results and also see if there's any big differences between using one or the other. I did the whole procedure once with optimized training and then once with extended training. By whole procedure, I mean I did a new capture and then I put it into the training queue, finalized it, and then did the same thing with the extended mode. So there's the capture process where it will send signals to the amp that you're trying to capture. And then after that, once it's done that, there'll be the training process where it will train the tone model that will be within your TONEX software. Now, the capture process in both of these instances is the same because it's sending the same signal that's going to go through the amp that you're trying to capture or the source that you're trying to capture. And then the training part, that's where things are slightly different. So quick thing about my system, I'm using an AMD Ryzen 5800X with 32 gigs of RAM, and I have NVIDIA GeForce RTX 2070 Super. So it's not the latest generation, but I've been using this for a while and gets the job done. So the actual capture process itself was the same on both. So around 3 minutes to send signals to the source and then for that to come back. However, for the actual training process under the optimized, it came out to about 5 minutes, 28 seconds. And then on the extended mode, it came out at like 5 minutes, 16 seconds. So slightly less using the extended mode. If this is to do with having the NVIDIA graphics card, I'm not sure, but that might be interesting if you're doing quite a lot of captures and training times might be lower if you're using an NVIDIA graphics card. So that might be something to try out. Now, in terms of sonic differences, I'll let you be the judge. So I captured my main FM3 preset, and what you're hearing here is basically DI tracks that's going through the TONEX plugin, once with the optimized mode, which is the default, and then once with the extended mode, which is the extended mode. So what I found interesting here was that it seemed that the optimized mode, it seemed to have slightly higher peaks in sort of the base region. So when I was looking at the meters on the optimized capture, it was peaking slightly higher than the extended version. And looking at the EQ curves at the end there, you could kind of see that, you know, there's a bit more peaks that was going on in the optimized version compared to the extended version. And then there's some other kind of slight differences here and there. Again, I think in a mix, these are certainly things that you wouldn't really notice, but in isolation, you can pick up on a few of these things. And it might be quite interesting to kind of do that experiment yourself if you have an NVIDIA graphics card, to see, well, maybe the extended training is actually faster than the optimized default because of your system configuration. Now, I'm going to actually stick to the extended mode for my, well, future captures that I might be doing. I think, you know, tonally speaking, there's some kind of minor differences, and maybe because, you know, I'm getting less peaks in sort of the base region and maybe elsewhere, although I couldn't really see that, it seems to be perhaps a more smoother or balanced kind of tone. I don't know what it is. I mean, we're really talking about finite differences at this point. But I figured, hey, you know, for science, let's do this experiment, share the results, and let you check out the two profiles as well, and, you know, come to a conclusion for yourself. I'd be really curious to hear your thoughts and opinions in the comments section below. In any case, hope you got something out of this. Hope to see you in the next video. Take care.